Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome wherever you are joining us from around the world. This is the Nigerian Community Chronicle Podcast, live stream edition, powered by NACAID, the Nigerian Alumni Clubs and Association in Diaspora. Following the success of our maiden episode last night, we are excited to bring you episode 2 of this new interactive panel series, a platform designed to give Nigerians in the diaspora a voice. This new model was created to encourage open and honest conversations about the real issues affecting our community abroad, from immigration and cultural identity to family life, business, education, and beyond. It's about creating a safe and inclusive space for Nigerians in the diaspora to share experiences, ask questions, and find practical solutions together, whether through NACAID, the Nigerian embassies, or even support from our host country governments. On each episode, we are joined by experts and professionals who help us explore these everyday realities, bringing both personal and professional insights to the table. And yes, tonight, as always, we'll be taking your live calls, giving you a chance to share your views, experiences, or concerns. Your voice truly matters here. Now, tonight's topic, one that touches the heart of nearly every Nigerian living abroad, life of an immigrant in the UK, navigating family, culture, and immigration realities. Helping us kick off this section today are two incredible women doing amazing work in their fields. Our first guest is Mrs. Modupe Ijasan, a highly respected social work professional with over 20 years of experience in the United Kingdom. She has served in leadership roles such as team manager, service manager, and head of service. And she is known for her deep compassion and commitment to making a difference in people's lives. She's also an active member of the New Covenant Church UK, where her faith and passion for empowerment shine through everything she does. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Modupe Ijasan.
Hi, Femi. Thank you for that introduction.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us.
Welcome.
Right. And joining her is Miss Olaide Awogbile, a dual qualified lawyer and principal solicitor whose practice both in Nigeria and in the UK. She was called to the Nigerian bar in 2005 and to the role of solicitors in 2012. Olaide possesses immigration and family law, and she is widely admired for her strategic thinking and dedication to solving even tough legal challenges. Outside her legal practice, she gives back through community and charity work and enjoys music, travel, spending time with her daughter and family. Please welcome Miss Olaide Awogbile.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you, Olaide. Now, ladies, thank you for being here with us today. It's such a pleasure to have you on our second live panel. Now, let's dive right. The topic for us today is the Nigerian diaspora experience, challenges, opportunities, and the way forward. Udupe, please let me come to you first.
Okay.
As someone who has worked closely with immigrant families for many years, what are some of the common challenges you see Nigerians face when trying to adapt to life in the UK, especially around family relationships and parenting style? What do you think?
Thank you, Femi. That's a really important question. Over the years, I've seen that one of the biggest challenges for Nigerian
Mm,
family is adjusting to a completely different culture and parenting environment. In Nigeria, we grew up in communities where everyone has a hand in raising a child. The aunties, the neighbors, the grandparents, it's truly communal. But here in the UK, families are often isolated.
mm,
You're on your own. I have three adult children. And I remember when my children were growing up, I had to rely on my neighbors or the people from my church to support me because my family was in Nigeria. And that support network is the one that we've been seeing in the UK, especially for those people that have just moved into the UK. I've had opportunity to speak to people that we call the Jappers. And some of these people, they don't research really well before they came into the UK. Some of them moved to isolated areas where there are no Black people, where majority of them do not have family network support. So the loneliness can have an impact on them. And the parenting role in this country is different from Nigeria. In Nigeria, we can discipline children. Some people will say, spare the rod and spoil the child. But in this country, you can't do that. So some of these people, some of the parents, they haven't changed. They haven't changed their way of parenting. They haven't changed their style of parenting. They haven't adapted to the culture in the UK. And I'm going to talk about the gender roles as well. Majority of the people in Nigeria, they believe that the man has to feed the family. But when you come to the UK, only if you want to kill that man. For example, we're talking about those people probably that have just migrated in the last 5 years after COVID.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
So if you look at on average, their pay, their salary, probably one person is earning about 2,000 plus. And their rents and the bills, one of my sisters that moved to the United Kingdom, she says, in this country, every month you either pay the rent or the mortgage. But in Nigeria, if you want to pay rent, you pay it yearly, I believe. So whatever you earn, if you don't support your partner, it will be very, very difficult.
True.
It will be very difficult to pay childcare. It will be very difficult for you to be able to pay your bills. And so these are the things that we need to think about when we are coming to the UK, or for us that's already here. You have to work hand in hand. You can't say the man is the head of the family and financially that they have to be there. You want to kill that man. And that marriage will be in a mess. That marriage can lead to domestic violence, can lead to divorce, can lead to some other things that will impact on the welfare of the children.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Modupe, for that insightful response. Now, let me come to you, Olaide. You've worked with many Nigerians navigating complex immigration processes. What do you see as the biggest legal or procedural barriers immigrants face when trying to settle in the UK?
Thank you, Femi. The biggest legal and procedural barriers immigrants face when they are trying to settle in the UK is usually the complex, costly, and rapidly and constant changing immigration laws. Also, immigrants tend to find it difficult accessing legal aid and representation. Legal aid is where the government pays the solicitors to represent someone. And in some cases, one of the procedural barriers that immigrants face is a hostile environment. In some countries, like they create barriers to essential services like housing, healthcare, and work. And these barriers can also include challenges with obtaining proper documentation, navigating confusing application processes, and for some people, it could also be language barriers that hinder understanding of their rights and the procedure in settling in the UK.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I can see that that's have come from a professional background. Thank you for that idea. Now, Modupe, let me come back again to you. You've supported many individuals, through the pressures of, migration, from homesickness to family conflict. How does cultural expectation or lack of community support affect the mental and emotional well-being of immigrants?
When you move to a new country, I can use myself as an example.
Right.
I came years ago. I was homesick. You know, I was in my 20s.
Did we all?
I started having children, and I could remember some nights I would be crying. I actually wanted to go back to Nigeria. Because in Nigeria, you know, for example, if you look at our Friday, you know, if not even Friday, every day you can go to your pepper soup joint, you can meet up with your friends. But in this country, you can't do that. As soon as you leave work on Monday, you go back home. Probably on Friday and Saturday, we go to our parties. So someone that's just moved in to the country with their families, they're trying to settle down. Psychologically, that will affect them. So some of the people, I keep on saying to my colleagues that majority of the people, especially that moved from Nigeria to the UK in the last 5 years, they're rich people. Majority of them have houses, big houses. And now they've moved. I'm going to talk about housing. And now they've moved, probably with 1 or 3 children. No, probably 2 or 3 children. And they're now living in 1-bedroom house or 1-bedroom flat. And the children, 3 children, they share a room. And the husband and wife are in 1 room. So there's no space. Psychologically, that will affect them. And, you know, because they've moved, they don't have a car. In Nigeria, part of your asset is having a car. So all this we have psychological impacts on you. Some of the people, they don't know how to start to begin again, to start communicating, to start connecting, to start engaging with each other, to start putting money together, to start probably using one account. I've said it earlier that if you think you're moving into the UK and your husband or your partner is going to be responsible for everything, you're gonna kill that person.
Thank you for saying that.
I think I have to emphasize that because people are majority of the people have been supporting for the past few years. Financial is huge. You know, the finances is key. Every month in this country, you have to pay some kind of bills. If you don't pay your mortgage, you pay your rent. You have to pay it for electricity, Wi-Fi, water. You know, in my house, there's there's water.
And the list goes on.
The bill goes on and on. So that can cause some psychological problem, which may lead to domestic violence if you don't have an open communication about things like this. And remember that some of these people are still paying back the debts they owe. So all these impacts, all this financial huge impact on them will affect them. I can tell you as a social worker, sometimes when I go to the shopping mall, I can pick on children that are being neglected. Some of the children, their hair are not done, they look unkempt, you know, their uniform is dirty because the parents probably they're working 2 jobs to be able to pay their bills and they're ignoring and neglecting the children. And I say, if you come into the UK for a better life, make sure that is a better life for your children. Because some of the children, they didn't even ask. There was no negotiation with the children. They just moved them. Some of the children have left their friends. Some of the children were in boarding school and we picked them up and we brought them here. So that will have huge emotional problems on them.
Fantastic. Very, very, very touchy. Thank you very much for that. Olaide, let me come back to you again. You know, many in the diaspora struggle to understand their legal rights when dealing with issues like visa renewal, housing, or employment. What basic legal awareness should every immigrant have to protect themselves?
Okay, thank you. Every immigrant should have basic legal awareness regarding their immigration status and rights. This also includes understanding the terms of their visa. For example, you need to understand the type of visa you have, its expiration date, any limitations and conditions associated with it. Also, you need to know your rights during official interactions. For example, you need to understand the right to remain silent and your right to legal counsel or representation during interaction with immigration officers or police officers. Also, as an immigrant, you need to understand your rights regarding services. You need to be aware of your right to be able to access certain public services like healthcare. Some people think because they are illegal immigrants, they are not entitled to some level of healthcare. There are some, at least emergency services, you should be able to have access to that, even as an illegal immigrant. Though you may now be asked to pay the bill later, for example, if you want to have a baby, but at least they owe you that duty of care. Then also you need to be aware of your employment and housing rights. You need to know your rights, especially when you're working. People come to me and tell me all sorts about how people take pictures of them when they are sleeping, how they are facing this disciplinary action, racism. So you need to know what your rights are and the help that is available to you. Like, for example, Auntie Modupe is a social worker. She can tell that there are some of our people that they have wrong notions about public authorities. For example, social workers, some people think all they do is just to take away their children. No, it's not all the time. They are there to give you support. They're there to help you sometimes. You know, if they think that help, you should be entitled to it. They are not magicians. So you just don't expect that, because some people think, oh, if you go to a social worker, they'll sort out your housing. There's a limit to what they can do. Do you understand?
I do.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Olaide. I can see that Modupe wants to, speak to that as well before I ask my question. Please go ahead.
Olaide, thank you for touching on that one.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to talk about children that have got special needs. There are lots of helps for children that have got special needs. And I know that majority of my people from Nigeria, they will say, God will do it. I know God will do it. I'm a Christian. But if you have a child with learning difficulties or learning disability or physical disability or whatever disability they have, contact your council. Social workers are there to support you. If we take every child, no child will be at home. We don't do that. We support and we protect. It's really important for us to understand that the welfare of the child is paramount. We have to protect. So there are some of us that what we call discipline is actually abuse. I think I have to lay it out there. There are some children that are being physically abused. That's what we do. The wires, the cane. You don't do that in this country. You do not do that. However, if you have a child that's got special needs, I'm going to speak in Yoruba in quotes. Those children that some of us in Nigeria refer to as odoyo, that they slow, they this. No, it's because they've got some cognitive impairments. And there are services to support them. So, Olaide, thank you for mentioning that. And I just want to, before I hand over to you, Femi, I want to talk about the stigma about mental health. Some of us are just coming. Some of these people, they're suffering from depression. Some are having anxiety. Some are thinking that the better, I come into the UK for a better life, but I haven't got a better life. If you think you have some emotional problems, if you are depressed, please, or if you're going through domestic violence, please speak out, seek for help, ask someone to support you. Don't just die in silence, please. This country is not a country that we have to keep up appearances. This is not a Nigerian community that your husband will slap you, will kick you, will do something to you, and you go out there and you pretend that all is well. And they will tell you don't wash your dirty linen in the public. But there are some dirty linens that you need to wash in the public so that you don't process. Okay, I will hand over to you.
Thank you very much for that, Modupe. I mean, let's stay on that actually for my next question. From your professional experience, what practical steps can immigrants take to build stronger family and community ties here in the UK while still holding on their Nigerian values? Based on what you've just said.
Network. Network. Engage with people. Don't die in isolation. Don't die on your own. Reach out to other people. If you are a Muslim, go to the mosque. If you are a Christian, go to your church. Talk to your pastors. Talk to your leaders. Talk to the women. I know there are some women that, they may not want to tell pastors what they're going through. But you need to speak out. There are so many organizations out there to support you. It's not about destroying your family. It's about protecting your children. Because those children, if you don't look after them, if you don't protect them, if you don't safeguard them, Then it will come to social workers do take our children, because social workers will go there, they will do an assessment, and if they think that the children need there to be protected, they will have to do what they have to do. But you need to speak out. They say social workers take people's children. Thank you, Josie. No. Let me tell you, social workers have no power to remove any child. We have to go to court. That, Olaide and myself, we work together. Olaide, can we just go there and take children? Nobody has no power. We have to go into court. We have to be in front of the judge. So it's not that a social worker will turn up and remove your children. But however, let me say something that the experience I've been having for a very long time now. And sometimes I do communicate with Olaide to support me with this. Some of our people, because they don't understand what is happening, there's a Section 20 voluntary arrangement that you can say to the local authority to look after your child if there are issues of safeguarding or support. Some of our people, they just sign those forms without seeking the support of a lawyer. Don't sign anything. I'm saying to you now, I'm going to say it loud and clear. If any social worker gives you a form to sign, you have a right to seek for legal advice. Don't sign any form. Some of us would have signed those forms, and then they will come to me and say, we've signed it, and they will be crying. But you've already signed it before you sought support. So Olaide is there and some other lawyers. We have so many Nigerian lawyers that can support us. Don't sign any form until you seek legal advice.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I'm sure our viewers will resonate and take heed from that advice. Let me come back to you, Olaide.
Yes.
Looking at your advocacy work within the Nigerian diaspora, what can both individuals and community organizations do to better support those facing immigration and legal challenges?
Okay, thank you. So individuals and communities can support those facing immigration and legal challenges by providing direct legal, financial, digital, and housing assistance.
Right.
Now, when I say offer financial support, when donations is made to charitable organizations, for example, some people that are on leave to remain, they don't have access to public funds. But if there's financial support from reputable charities, this could help them in fighting their rights or addressing the legal challenges that they have. Then also, a way in which individuals and community and organizations can support those facing immigration and legal challenges is by raising awareness. For example, what we are doing, we're raising awareness. A lot of people, they don't know what their rights are. They don't know what is available to them. Then we can also offer emotional and psychological support. Auntie Dupe said something in the lines of, don't do things in isolation. I'm a big fan of that, especially because I specialize in family law. I see a lot of people, because they are going through a lot with the stigma of being divorced. If it's not well managed, some of them begin to have mental health issues. And especially those that have built themselves around a particular set of people. So when those people desert them, they are left alone. And if it's not well managed, then they now start having psychological problems, which could lead to so many other things, impact their work, impact on their parenting, and it just goes out of hand. So like I mentioned to someone during a seminar, you're a human being. Just like myself, Olaide Awogbile, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a Christian, I'm a church member, I'm a solicitor, I'm a friend. I belong to different communities, right? So because of my own experience, I have expanded my own network to beyond just particular set of people. I'm trying hard not to mention groups, so it won't be like I'm targeting people, but especially religious institutions. Sometimes, let me just leave it there so I don't because
I think I understand you.
but you understand where I'm coming from.
I do,
Because
and I'm sure
it's
our
not
viewers
widely,
do.
yes, it's not widely accepted. And
Yeah.
some of them don't understand the impact of the ostracizing that they have done to you because you are no longer deemed to be a good Christian. They don't think of the effect it has on your mental health, especially if you have built your life around them since you've been young. Then all of a sudden you now find yourselves around people that are not in your circle because your life has changed. So I feel communities and organizations, that's where they come in. They are third parties. They will give you support, provide emotional and social support, educate you, like what you're doing now. And in some instances, some of them fund representation. There are some charities, like I live in Manchester. There are some charities that actually do advocacy for free for people, and they are funded by organizations. Like in the Manchester court, there is a charity that is there that sometimes help people that cannot cannot afford legal representation. And I think that is a very good initiative.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, ladies. Actually, I just have to thank you both, for sharing those enlightening, perspectives. I am sure many of our viewers can already relate to some of these experiences, from managing family expectations to dealing with the UK ever-changing immigration realities. We now move into, our interactive section, where we open the phone lines and invite our audience to call in, share their thoughts, ask questions, or seek advice, from our panelists. If you are watching us live, you can now call into the number displayed on your screen. Whether you have experience with immigration challenges, cultural adjustment, or family pressures, this is your opportunity to share and learn. So, viewers, please call in. However, I've got some questions already lined up for you ladies on our comment section. So I'll probably take the questions. So I will ask our tech team to, put the first comment or question on for you ladies to take. So let's read this question. Do you think Nigerians abroad talk enough about mental health, or do we still see it as a taboo topic? Modupe, I'd like you to take that, please.
Thank you, Femi. That's a good question. I think Nigerians abroad do talk about it, but it depends, like Olaide said earlier, it depends on your connection. It depends on your circle. It depends on who you move with. It depends on your church. I've been going to the same church, New Covenant Church, since 1992. And if I notice that, there are some things that you will know about some people that you've been working or going to the same church with for a very long time. So I'm going to give you a live example. There was one of the sisters in my church years ago. When she's depressed, she would be, just picking on her lips, and they would be bleeding, and she wouldn't even know that she was bleeding. And that's, it was one of the signs that I noticed, that when she was stressed or anxious, she would do that. And I'll speak to her about it. It's 50-50, but it's not a taboo topic. And I just want us to know that, especially with the men, if you look at research in the UK, I don't know whether it's universal, majority of the men that do commit suicide, they're from 25 to 45, I believe. So, yeah. And we have some of Nigerian children that, unfortunately, in the past, they've committed suicide as well, especially after having their results, because of the high expectation, the value we alluded to university degrees. And these are the things that we need to be talking to each other about. It's not every child that we go to uni. It's not every child that we have a first class. It's not every child that will be a star child. Whatever you do, when I go to conferences, when I speak to people, and I say, "Oh, if you have A in maths," to the parents, raise up your hand. And majority of the parents do raise their hands, and that's a lie. How many of us actually had A in maths when we were?
Very true.
It's because we are fake. We're not real. We have to be real. We have to allow the children to see our struggle. There was a time with my 3 children, I was a single parent. And when they were younger, we used to have 2 different kinds of lists, a want need and a need list. And with my son, who is now 26 years old, he would be smiling, "Mom, why are you talking about me?" There was a day when my job changed and I had some increase in my salary. And we went into the supermarket. And he was taking things. And I didn't say, "Put it down, put it down." And when we got home, he said, "Mom, this your new job must be really paying you well." And so it's about allowing as you can, although you need to be careful that you don't overload your children with some information that they shouldn't know. But at the same time, you need to be open and honest about your struggles. If they see you as a superhero, they won't be able to talk about their mental health. So it's something that we need to be talking about. In my church, I say, when we do Bible study, let's talk about what we are worried about. It's not every time you have to be talking about Garden of Eden. There are some real issues that are going on in the UK at the moment. In the UK at the moment, our salary is not even enough to do the shopping. Every day when you go into the supermarket, things that, I don't know, the bills. And I pity those people on benefit. When I came to this country years ago, King's bread was 9p. I've got a nearly 30-year-old daughter, and said, "Mom, yeah, when you first came into this country, this is how much." Yes, 9p King's meal bread. These days is about how much? £1, nearly £2.
Almost £2.
Yeah, almost £2. So what I'm talking about is let our children know and understand our struggles. Don't let us okay. If we are open about our struggles, they'll be able to talk to us about their mental health. And we need to stop comparing children. Every child is an individual. Every child is fearfully and wonderfully made. Every child has strengths. So whatever strengths they have, let us promote that.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Modupe, for that. And I also like to thank our viewer. I think his name is Michael Akinyele. Yeah, thank you very much, Akinyele Michael, for asking that wonderful question. Please, can we have the next question? Now, this viewer is Tosin. How do long separations from family due to visa delays or immigration restrictions affect relationship and children? Olaide, I'd like you to take that, please.
Okay, so with respect to your question, how long separations from family due to visa delays, restrictions affect relationships and children, it is unclear whether you mean the long separation is maybe one party is in another country, or you mean separation like when parties are separated, like husband and wife, but I'll deal with the two. So with respect to long separation, say one party is here, then the family is back home. Sometimes it does affect the immigration restriction. For example, the one that is trending now is a lot of people that came in to work in the UK and left their children behind in their home country. Now they are trying to bring their children to the UK. The Home Office has been refusing some of the children's applications, stating that what has changed that the children should come and join the parents. When you look at it, to be honest, they have a point. The children are already in school. You just want to uproot them and bring them to UK for the sake of the fact that you are all in UK. So now parents that want to bring their children to UK, they have to give extra reasons why staying back in their home country is no longer conducive for the children. So that could kind of impact on the child's visa ability, especially if the child is getting close to 18. By the time they start having refusals and problems with Home Office, once they turn 18, they may not be able to apply as dependents. Now, if you mean how long separation from families due to visa delays affect relationship and children, in terms of divorce or living apart, sometimes it does. And it depends on a lot of things. So it's not something that I can just answer. For example, like the one that someone spoke to me this week, they are having problems in proving to the Home Office that they are a genuine couple and they have a genuine and subsisting relationship due to husband living in one place and the wife living in another part of UK. And they are a genuine couple. It's just because of COS and all this work, whatever, that separated them. And sadly, they don't have any proof to prove that they have a genuine and a subsisting relationship, like proof of address, bills to show that they are together, even though the lady says she has travel tickets, but that is not good enough. They don't even have any joint bank accounts. So things like that could also impact and put form of immigration restriction on relationships and children.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Olaide, for that robust response. And I also thank Lady Tosin or Mr. Tosin, because that Tosin, both male and female bear their name back in Nigeria. So please, can we have the next question? Or is there any caller in the queue? Feyisola, what would you say to someone silently suffering from isolation or shame because of their immigration status? Oh, Modupe, that's for you.
I don't think you should be suffering from shame. You shouldn't be ashamed. You are here for a better life. And you took that bold step to come into the country. So in a way, I'm actually clapping for that person. However, like I said earlier, you need to speak to someone. You need to seek support. You need to be speaking to someone like Olaide. And I'm going to give some live examples. Some of us that have been here for a very long time, and they came with their children, and they just go into the system without regulating their papers or their documents. When those children want to go to university, they won't sponsor them. And that's where the problems will start from. So imagine if a child has been here for, or a young person has been here for like 12, 13 years, and because they never put their documents in front of the Home Office, they won't be able to go out, they won't be able to go on holiday, and that can cause problems. So whatever we're going through is only for a short period. I'll be saying to that person, seek support. You can call me after this meeting. I'm sure Femi is going to leave phone numbers. Olaide is also available to give support, give advice. But don't just suffer in silence, please. You should not be ashamed of anything. For you to take a bold step to leave, it's not easy to leave a country, even when we want to go on holiday. It's difficult. And sometimes we don't actually value ourselves to move to a new country, for you to step up to move to a new country where you have to navigate, everything. You deserve an applause. You shouldn't be ashamed of it at all, please.
Thank you very much for that, Modupe. That's very encouraging. And we are going to take a question from our WhatsApp message section, where one of our viewers actually sent in a message on the WhatsApp. He said, please, actually, the person directed the message to Olaide, said, please, can Olaide assist with legal aid to process settlement for someone who has stayed in the country for almost 19 years?
Unfortunately,
Olaide, that was directed to you.
Unfortunately, I don't have the legal aid contract for immigration or family law, but I can always signpost you to where you could get the legal aid funding. I would say call me after this program,
we are going to
or
that.
You go to your Citizens Advice Bureau and ask them for solicitors that have got the legal aid contract. But if you're happy to pay, because I don't have the legal aid contract, all my work is privately funded, I'm happy to assist you in sorting out your leave to remain, if only you're happy to pay privately for it.
Right. I will surely connect you with the lady. I've just received the name. It's by the name Bolanle. So definitely, Bolanle, reach out to us, and we will connect you with Olaide, who can, take this case off the screen, and then, we'll find a way to assist you. And I'm sure that Modupe too is available for any support that can be provided to you, Bolanle. Can we have the next question or comment on the screen, please? This is from Shade Ayekun. Many people many people rely on agents for visa applications. What are the risks, and how can we ensure we are getting the right legal help? I think you want to take that again as well, Olaide.
Yes. So the risk of relying on an agent is that you could be duped and you could be given wrong advice. And that is why, the government has made it clear that whenever you want to do any visa application, you should either use a solicitor like myself, or you use someone that is registered under OISC. So in that way, they are accountable. Before you can come out and say you're a solicitor and you specialize in this area of law, you are accountable to the Law Society and to the SRA. Our work is regulated. And where in the instance that you have incurred some loss, right, at least there's a third party that can intervene. In some instances, not all times, in some instances, they could help in mitigating your losses. But with the agents, I personally do not advise that you use agents personally, because like I said, you could be duped, you could get wrong legal advice. But there are some good agents though. There are some good agents, because I don't want it to be like Olaide is spoiling our business. There are some good agents, just like in every profession, we've got good and bad eggs. Yeah. But like I said, for something like immigration, my advice is that you should use someone that is specialized, like a solicitor or someone that is regulated by OISC. So at least you are getting quality work done and you are getting the correct advice. You are not getting duped. And God forbid, if you get duped, there's a possibility that you may get your money back because they are regulated by different professional bodies.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that extensive response, Olaide. Can we have the next question, please? This is from Feyisola. How can community groups or associations like NACAID help Nigerians navigate immigration and legal issues better? I think this question is for the three of us, but let me go first. Now, thank you for that question, Feyisola. NACAID is Nigerian Alumni Clubs and Associations in Diaspora, which both Modupe and Olaide are already member. And like I said, it's a free membership. Every one of you can join, and if you join NACAID, you have access to people, professionals like Modupe and, Feyisola, and Olaide and other professionals, mentors. It's a platform whereby you can connect with others. And even you can share your experience. You can do so many things. So I think it's really good that this question has come up. It came up as well yesterday. So not to say too much about it, I just want to encourage you to join. It's free membership. Modupe, you want to speak to that as well?
Yeah, I'll keep on talking about connection. You just need to connect with people. And some of the things that you pay for, you get it free through connection. So just join the association, then you will be able to reap the benefits.
Thank you very much, Modupe. Olaide?
Yes, one of the benefits of, that you could benefit from NACAID is what we are doing now. For example, if you're going to approach me privately or Auntie Modupe privately, there's a fee to be paid for it. And we're giving you free legal advice without any form of payment. And we're also here to give you support. So if you reach out to us through NACAID, for speaking for myself now, I don't want to speak for Auntie Modupe. Speaking for myself, I could give you a discounted rate. Do you understand? So when people come from my referrals, rather than charging them on an hourly rate, I give them fixed fee. So it is clear, and a reduced fee. And it is clear that, okay, yes, Olaide has really tried for me as far coming through NACAID. But like I said, we are more than happy to help you. We are not expensive. We are your people. We understand some of the issues that you are going through. So it's all about speaking up, like Auntie Modupe said, and whatever help we can give you within a reasonable reach, we will do it. I don't want to make promises. So,
I think I'd like to also say that both you ladies, you have your, social media platforms. Why don't you share with our viewers? Modupe, I know you have, Instagram platform, and Olaide, you've got TikTok. Share your details so that people can reach out to you as well.
Okay. Can I just say something about what Olaide said and
yeah, please.
There was a time someone called me. They live outside London, and they were involved with social services. Lawyers were involved, and unfortunately, where they live, they had to get some non-Nigerian lawyer, and this was a graduate from Nigeria, and she said to me that the lawyer was asking her if she needed an interpreter to interpret on her behalf. And I asked her, were you speaking Igbo to the lawyer? And she said, no, but they couldn't understand her accent. So what I'm saying is, whatever you do, make sure you connect with your people. Connect with people from your culture so that they can support you. We understand what you're going through. Although we charge, we have to pay our bills as well. But like Kolade said, we will reduce the fee for you because we have to eat, we have to pay our bills. But what I'm saying is, we understand where you're coming from. Some people will call me and they'll say they have no money. They wouldn't want to pay me, but if there's actually be somewhere, they go and get it. And that's so unfair.
No, their problem is not important to them. That's why. If it's important to them, they will go
just feel that you need to dish out free advice. Yeah, and we have to support each other. You support me, we support you. But nevertheless, your person, the person that understands what you're going through, where you're coming from, will be able to give you an advice that you yourself you'll be comfortable with. I just want to put that there so that come and join this association. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you very much for that, Modupe. I think Olaide, you want to say something?
Well, I just wanted to add to what Auntie Modupe said. Like she said that, we are your people. For example, a lot of people that are going through issues with social services and they think they are being racist. Sometimes, and Auntie Modupe can confirm, I have reached out to her privately to say, okay, what is your view regarding this? And because she is a fellow Nigerian, she was able to help in assisting us to understand what the issues are. For example, maybe if a child goes to school and make disclosures that the parents are smacking them and the parents are denying that the parents are not smacking the child. There was one case I referred to you, can you remember, Auntie? And she said, are you saying your children have psychological problems? I will never forget that day. And for the first time, it struck me differently because by the time she broke it down, I, as a lawyer, I did not even see it that way. Which is true. A child cannot just make up stories that their parents are doing something. It's like me saying, you raped me. If I just said, I want you to think I have mental health issues. So rather than living in denial, it is best for you to come out and say, yes, you did beat your child. Well, you are sorry because it is acceptable in Nigeria. The worst case scenario, there will be some courses that they will tell you to do. And that's the beauty of speaking to your own people. Do you understand? Because they can relate. They know that, okay, in Nigeria, it's a normal thing for you to smack your children. But here in UK, you are not supposed to do things like that. So to address this issue, you need to do this and this and this.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Olaide. I just want to react to the request on our screen. Please, how do you join Arcade? I'm interested. Oh, thank you very much for showing interest. Naked is just put .org after Naked. It will pop up on your browser. It's NACAID.org, O-R-G. And you see the registration section, and it's just a couple of questions, and that's how you join. Thank you very much for that. Next question. We have a question from Olamide Adejumo. Is there any hope for someone with asylum application was refused and was included that the decision cannot be appealed? Olaide?
Yes, sir. There is hope. There is hope. It depends on the circumstance of the case and their family ties. So, for example, if the Home Office has said that, there's nothing they can do, there could be other avenues the person could use to regularize their stay. For example, if they have children and the children have lived there for a long time. For example, if they've got medical issues and they can prove to the Home Office that on compassionate grounds that this medical issue, fair enough, there may be hospitals in Nigeria that can treat it, but the issue of affordability is also there. Then there could be circumstances like if they don't have any strong ties to their home country. Do you understand? So if you don't have anybody in your home country, so what are you going back to? If you are married to someone else that is a British citizen, you can regularize your stay through that avenue, or even via partnership. So just accepting a no does not solve the problem. That is the benefit of quality legal advice. We would explore other things around you to see how we can help you to have a settlement in the UK. The worst case scenario, maybe after living here for 20 years, yes, that opportunity is there as an illegal immigrant. After living in the UK for 20 years, we can assist in your settlement in the UK.
Thank you very much for that, Olaide. I think I'm sure that must have answered your question, Olamide Adejumo. Can we have the next question, please? Okay, Simisola Mary Adeoye. What documents do you need to prove you are a couple in the UK when you want to apply for your ILR? And I think we have maybe two more questions, on the comment section. That I think goes to Olaide as well.
Okay, so the documents you need to prove that you're a couple, if you want to apply for ILR, number one, proof of address. You must either have joint proof of address or individual proof of address to the same property. So not necessarily like joint accounts. For example, you could have your telephone and maybe husband could have telephone, gas, electric in address. Wife could have her telephone number, her telephone contracts, bank accounts, shopping accounts to the same address. So bills, proof of address, letters from the doctors, letters from school if you have a child, bank accounts, bills like electric, gas, just any proof of address, pictures, communications, all that could help in proving that you are a couple towards your ILR.
Thank you very much. I'm sure that must have answered your question, Simisola. Can we have the next question, please? I understand that we don't have any caller, but we just have about 2 or 3 more questions to go, and we've got 7 or 8 more minutes. So can we have the next question, please? All right.
Yes.
This question is from Okpeyemi Christiana Adebowale. Is there any hope for a wife whose husband is on a course of a skilled worker, but the wife's visa was rejected? They have a child now. can the wife be considered because of the child?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, please go on.
Okay.
Yeah, no, go on. Both of you can answer it, please. But you can go first, Olaide.
Auntie's shaking her head.
No, it's Olaide's field. It's
Okay.
Olaide's field. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
So
All right. Thank
yes.
you.
So yes, there is hope for a wife whose husband is on a COS of a skilled worker. Now, if the wife visa was rejected, I want to believe that the husband's COS must have been 6135 or 6136, which is for care workers and senior care workers, because the Home Office made an announcement that those on 6135, 6136, they are not allowed dependents. However, we have observed that the Home Office has been granting dependents of those on 6135, 6136 if they apply with their child. So if she has previously been rejected, it all depends on how long the rejection was. If it is recent and she's still within the 28 days that she can put in an application or leave the country, she can reapply with the child and she'll be given. Alternatively, if the rejection has exceeded that 28 days, it may be worthwhile seeking legal advice and exploring other opportunities in which the woman can now apply as the husband's dependent, or better still, have her own visa so she doesn't have to rely on her husband's COS.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I think we still have room for one more question. Please, technical team, do you have any caller in the queue or any more questions for our panelists?
I think the immigration is coming up on
Immigration question is
YouTube.
coming up.
Yes. There's another one that says,
Okay.
hello, I'm a student.
All right, please. Yeah, you can take that. You can read it out for us.
Okay, say, hello, I'm a student in Coventry. I have a brother in Norwich, and I thought it would be possible to stay with my brother and go to school from Coventry, but no. So I got a friend, we share a room.
Right.
The person is not, okay. How can parents explain their immigration challenges to children without creating fear or insecurity? I think I will answer that then. Auntie Modupe can just touch about that, because she mentioned something about not overburdening children.
Yeah.
Now, the way parents can explain immigration challenges to children without creating fear and insecurity is to give them hope and to explain to them the best practical way they would understand. So, for example, which is a popular issue among immigrants and children, if the child is an illegal immigrant and the child is unable to go on school trips, it could be heartbreaking for children. So you need to let the child know that, see, this is just a period. After this period, you will be able to travel with your friends anywhere in the world. But for now, you will not be able to travel till this is regulated. And also depends on the age of the children, because if the child is incapable of understanding what immigration is, imagine explaining immigration to a 5-year-old. It won't make sense. You can just use something else to cover up the discussion. But if the child is matured enough to understand, I would say you can just let them know that it's just for a period of time. After this time, you can do whatever you want to do. Like when it was being announced about ILR being extended for 10 years. My daughter is a British citizen. She now came to me. I was shocked. She said, Mom, I'm worried. I said, what happened? She said, do you have ILR? I was like, what kind of question is this? I said, we are British citizens. She said, okay, does that mean we have ILR? Because she didn't understand. I was like, why are you asking? She said, because she's been hearing something all over the news. So she now became worried that maybe we don't have ILR. So I now sat her down and I explained to her, because she's almost 18, that yes, we do have ILR. We are British citizens. We are not subject to ILR anymore. So that is for those that are yet to, sort out their immigration status. So it all depends on the ages of the children. But I'll let Auntie Modupe say it, because obviously she works more with children.
Yes, thank you so much. Information is on a need-to-know basis. And like you said, it depends on the age of the child or the children. everything has an expiry date. So even if you don't have your papers now or your document, say to that child, one day you will have that paper. One day you'll be able to travel. But this is how we are now. Because we just came into the country, we need to settle. We need to regularize our papers. They will understand. Children, they're very loyal. But when you say, why are you asking me? Some of us, we don't explain things. Why are you asking me about that? Come on, get up. No. You explain. You speak to your child. You respect them. Part of the respect is talking openly to your child and respecting their views.
Thank you very much for that. We've been on here now for an hour, and because I can see the questions, there are some germane questions which I don't want to let go. So please, I think I would like you guys to take that. Okay, this one question.
Yeah.
Yes.
So many of our children behavior
change. Please, Modupe, I would like you to take that.
So many of our children behavior change when they get to UK. How do we handle this? I've just said it. Do you speak to your child? Did you actually sit down with your child before you left Nigeria? Did you tell them we're traveling? Did you tell them that where we're going, you won't be able to have your own room? Did you sit them down? No. We just make decisions on behalf of these children. And you need to remember that they're probably going through bullying as well in school. Probably people are making jest of them because of their accents. There was a time I was dealing with a family because of trainers. The young person, the trainers, the parents bought for her wasn't like the one in trained with her friends. So there are so many issues, emotional issues that the children are going through. What we say is sit down with them, try to befriend them. I'm not going to say be your child's friend because you are the parent, you need to assert your authority. But you can get along with your child. It's not everything that you have to use discipline for. Just have a date with your child. Make time with your child. Some of us, we work for Ashwebi. I'm sorry to be talking about Ashwebi. Some of us do things that are nobody's business. If you don't buy the Ashwebi, the wedding will still hold. If you don't go to that wedding, the person that is doing their wedding, they will still hold. Some of us, we go and work and neglect our children just because we want to fit in. Just sit them down. And I'm going to use an example, Femi and Olaide. There was this young person in the car with his mother, and he was saying, Mom, please, can I have McDonald's? Can I have McDonald's? And the mom said, no, I don't have the money. And shortly after, there was a telephone call from Nigeria. They needed money. And the mother wanted to send the money. And the child now said to the mother, I was asking for less than 10 pounds McDonald's. And now you're sending money to people in Nigeria. So these are the things that we need to think about. Some of us are here. We train other people's children to private school in Nigeria. Your children cannot even go to private school here. There are some, I think we will still have to come back, Femi, to talk more about it. But what I'm saying is speak to your child, befriend them, be open and honest. Because you yourself, you've changed. You leave home at 6 a.m. You don't get back home on 10 p.m. What do you think is happening to the children between the hours that nobody's caring or supervising them?
Thank you very much, Modupe. There are 3 questions on the comment section. I will take the first one. Can we have a recorded version of this? Oh, yes. This is streamed live on YouTube. And after the session, you have the recorded. It's going to be there, for as long as we want it there. So you can still, watch the playback, definitely. And then the next question, can you put it on the screen for everybody to see? Now I got a job and they are requesting tenancy agreement, which the other party isn't willing to give me the agreement. The NNN I did is having my brother's address. The job I got says they can't give. Wow. Olaide, what can we do to that? And I'll just read the second question so that both of you can take it. My hours again because I need it. Okay, it's the same person. My hours again because I need a tenancy agreement and I don't have financial stability at the moment. Please advise. Okay,
so what you need to do is that you need to go to Citizens Advice, because if you're going to engage the services of a solicitor, All right, it may cost you money. All right. Citizens Advice can intervene and help you and contact your landlord. All right. And try and see whether, because I know they do write letters, they do some of these landlord and tenant issues. They could write your landlord a letter and demand that he should, give you the tenancy agreement and everything. And when you say tenancy agreement, if your landlord is refusing to give you tenancy agreement, are you sure you are not a squatter? Because you might be squatting. If someone is just accommodating you temporarily, just to try and help you out, you may be a squatter and you're not entitled to a tenancy agreement. So I would recommend that you obtain free legal advice via Citizens Advice, or you engage the services of a solicitor, depending on how buoyant you are. But I know for landlord and tenant issues, I always recommend Citizens Advice because it's not going to cost you anything. Do you understand? Sometimes they do write letters, even if you have rent in areas. No owe rent, so it's not good to owe rent. But I know some people do owe rent. But Citizens Advice do help with things like that.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Olaide. Wow. This has been an insightful and heartfelt discussion, one that truly reflects the realities of many Nigerians in diaspora. I want to sincerely thank our panelists, Modupe Ijasan and Olaide Awogbile, for their wisdom and openness, and also thank everyone who tuned in, called in, or shared comments online. Remember, the purpose of the Nigerian Community Chronicle Live is not just to talk about our challenges, but to connect you to the people and resources that can help. If today's discussion resonated with you, please reach out to us through naked.org. Help is always closer than you think. Until next time, stay positive, stay connected, and continue building our community wherever you are. Good night and God bless. Bye-bye.